everybody? This is Gorka from Mexicali Fish Keeper. Today I kind of wanted to bring you guys up to speed as to what's going on with the Fishroom. I know those of you guys who have been following me for a while have known that I'm kind of going through a change up. I went from having a semi-breeding fish room and some display tanks to kind of putting a hold the breeding projects. And I'm going to focus more on keeping my aquariums and enjoying them for what they are, for displays. So just kind of wanted to show you a little bit of the progression that's been going on here. The room is a chaos because it's still in the stages of that transition. I've just kind of moved some things around, but I want to show you what's going on. So let me turn the camera around. Alright, so any of you guys that have been watching my channel for a while know that rack used to be the breeding rack where I had all the 10 gallons. I broke that down. I still don't know exactly what's going to happen with that rack, but for the time being, it's in that location. What used to be there was a double stack that I had with a low boy and a 125. I've moved that to a different location. I'll show you where that's at. I have that 55 with the in-sub filtration system. I still don't know what I'm going to do with that one. I'm currently trying to break that down. It's in its final stages. I still have the 55 with all the guppies. This one I've had to temporarily house all my limias in there. They're in there. In here it's a hodgepodge now of different fish that I've had to kind of rehome for the moment until I find their permanent tank to set up. So I've got some barbs in here, some tetras, angelfish. You know, it's total chaos in there. So that one it's just right now a temporary home for a lot of those fish. Down here are the black belly limias. They're in there along with I forget what. Oh, the wild type mollies are in there right now. I still have that Japanese blue lyre-tail guppy breeding tank that's still going. I'm going to break down this wreck, and I'm in the process of doing that. I don't know how many of these 20s I'm going to keep. I really do want to downsize the amount of tanks that I have, so that's there. Here's that rack, and I've been posting shorts about it. This is where this is at right now. This is pretty much, I guess, what it's going to look for the time being until I get going on with, if I decide to change it up. I think the stocking on this one, although I do like the shell dwellers, I don't think it's the most appropriate for them, so that might change up. And I might put something else in there that I can enjoy more, because these guys, even though they're cool, every time I get close to the glass, they do tend to dive into their shells. So a lot of people always wondering what's in here. Although right now I gotta say they're pretty much out and about and being pretty bold. But so that's there. I do have some least killifish in this aquarium, which I'd love to keep, but that's like a 29, so it's probably way too big for that for those least killifish. They're right in there. They seem to be enjoying it, so I don't know. I still have to make a choice on that. The 150 that I had in here, I'm gonna tear that down. That tank has kind of been a love-hate relationship with that, just because of the profile. It makes it real difficult to try to do any kind of maintenance in the bottom or anything like that. So then I have that 55 up there that's temporarily housing some white clouds, and that's also, I don't know what's going to happen with this entire setup. I do have this pond that was supposed to be outdoors. Right now it's housing a bunch of the hardscape and stuff that I had, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I love to be able to put it outside, but I have to figure out where it's going to go. So right now it's just providing temporary housing. I've kind of contemplated with the idea of maybe putting this where that's at, if it fits. I think that the dimensions are pretty similar, but that's something I'll have to figure out later on. But right now, this is going to be the focus right here. Let me back this up so you guys can see. This is the rack. It does have 3 shelves. The bottom shelf, I don't want to put tanks that low anymore. Maybe what I'll do is I'll find a really low profile tank where I can bring up the shelving a little bit higher, I might do that. But I'm definitely not doing any tanks lower than, maybe 10 inches off the ground. It's a pain in the butt. I don't like it. I tend to neglect those tanks. I don't want to do that anymore. So basically I have 2 tiers. This is the one that I'm working on right now. It was one of the 20 gallons that was down there. I kind of removed the frame, the top frame from it. Just trying to toy with the idea. So this is going to be the focus of this. I got to clean this up, and then you guys will come along and see what I end up setting up with that. So next, what I'll do is I'll clean this out. You don't need to watch that. When you guys see this again, it'll be nice and clean and ready to go.